Buckshot. Slug. Woo! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we have the Keltec KSG shotgun. A few months ago, I reviewed the Keltec CP33. I liked it. It was funky. So when I saw this KSG, I said I gotta borrow this shotgun to do the review on it. But before we get started, I have a quick disclosure, of course. Yes, I work in the firearms industry. I do not have any connection to Keltec in any way, shape, or form, and neither one of those things will affect this review in any way, shape, or form. So this shotgun was loaned to me by my friends at the Elite Indoor Gun Range. Elite is a local country club here in southern Rhode Island. They have like sporting clays and 2 indoor ranges and training classes. Lots of good stuff. If you're in the area, check them out. I do not think you will be disappointed. Last but not least, there will be some affiliate links down in the video description. If you want to pick one of these up, hopefully I can find you guys a good deal. I know pricing is still all crazy and out of whack right now. I lied. That is not the last thing. The last thing is the sponsor of today's video, USCCA. They offer concealed carry, self-defense training, self-defense education, and self-defense insurance. If you have a firearm for self-defense, especially for concealed carry, I highly recommend you click the link down in the video description, type in your email address, and see if USCCA is right for you. As always, let's start at the bottom and work our way forward. Like pretty much all shotguns, it has a nice little rubber butt pad, help eat up some of that recoil. Normal cheek weld here, both of these, and a lot of other things. Is a really good aftermarket support for this shotgun. The cool thing about it is how you load the magazines. It actually has 2 magazine tubes that are fed from the rear here. And it's cool because each tube will hold 7 rounds of 2 3/4 inch shells for a total of 14 plus 1. Now, if you skip over to those Aguila mini shells, you're going to fit 11 rounds of each in each tube. So you're going to have 22 rounds plus 1. So a total of 23 rounds in the shotgun. And being there's 2 separate magazine tubes, what it allows you to do, and I know a lot of people like to do this, is put one type of round in one tube and another type of round in the other tube. Just be careful if you do that. You know, buck and slugs, okay, they pattern close enough, close up, they pattern similar, so no big deal. But if you're doing like lethal and non-lethal, anything else like that, just your training needs to be absolutely on point. The other thing in here is this selector lever. That is how you choose what magazine tube it feeds from. So it feeds all of the shells from one magazine tube until you flip that lever over, and then it will feed from the other magazine tube. Moving on up to the grip. The grip is very similar to the CP33 as far as the shape and then the material or feeling of it. It's not a bad grip, it feels good, it's just a little on the slick side. If this was my shotgun, I would absolutely grab a set of Talon grips and put the Talon grips on here just to improve the feel of the grip a little bit, but that is no big deal. You have a fairly standard crossbolt safety here, which works fine, no issues. I think it might be cool if they did an AR style safety here, AR-15 style. I don't know how much engineering would have to go into that. I'm sure the crossbolt one is, the cross safety is much easier, but it's not my job to figure out. I'm not the engineer. As far as the trigger is decent. This is a self-defense, home defense type shotgun, not a precision long distance rifle. I don't really need the best trigger in there. It's okay. The weird thing is the trigger doesn't pull to the rear. It kind of pulls down, which is kind of the strange part. But there's a little bit of take-up. After the little bit of take-up, you get to a fairly light wall. After you go through that fairly light wall, there's a little bit more take-up before the trigger breaks. And then as far as the reset's decent. It's definitely audible here. I'll let you listen. So overall, I'll say the trigger is good. Now your release for your pump is right in front of the trigger guard, and it's okay in size. You know, I have average size, medium man hands, we'll call them, and I can just barely reach reach that pump release. Again, if this was my shotgun, I don't know if anybody makes extended controls, but if they do, I would absolutely put an extended set of controls on here just to make it a little bit easier. The trigger guard is plenty large, so it's not going to be in the way if you get extended controls. Just so you know, the little pin that holds this pump release did walk out while I was shooting here. I actually didn't knock it back in yet. Now this gun is from the rental counter at the Elite Indoor Gun Range, and rental guns, just like rental cars, get used and abused and beat up, so I'm not all that surprised that that pin walked out. To me, it's not a very big deal. Now the upper part and the lower and the majority of this shotgun is made from polymer. Just like a classic Keltec, most of their guns are polymer wonders. Now some of the internals, the magazine tubes, the barrel, obviously those are made from metal, with the majority being made from polymer. Up top, you see here, it does have a Picatinny rail. It does come with the Picatinny rail. The rail is T-marked if you are into that sort of stuff. It does not come with any sights or optics, even though you can easily add sights. Yes, my battery died again. One day I will remember to replace the battery in my camera before I start a video. What I was saying, pick rail on the top, it's T-marked. If you want to add sights, a laser, highly recommend an optic. Those are the things that I would recommend with this pick rail. Excuse me. On the bottom, there is another Picatinny rail on the bottom of the handguard as well. And even more important than that, I think you should get some sort of vertical grip with this shotgun. Having your hand out here without it, it's a little dicey. The polymer is very, very slick, and the last thing you want to do is stick your hand in front of the barrel on a gun that has a bit of recoil. It's a recipe for disaster. So highly recommend getting some sort of vertical foregrip. They're so inexpensive nowadays. The one thing I don't like about this handguard is there's no M-lock slots. I think on the next generation of this gun, I would love to see Keltec add some M-locks so you can easily add a light. I think any gun for home defense or self-defense should have a white light on it of some sort. You could kind of stick one here in the bottom. It's just not ideal. You could stick one here on the top, but then reaching it, really, really awkward and tough to reach, so the side would be ideal. On the front here, you also have 2 loops to add a sling, and in the rear, you have some loops to add a sling as well. Just like the white light, pretty much any gun that is made for home defense or self-defense, in my opinion, should also have a sling and a white light. Cool thing about this gun, though, it's obviously very, very small, but it's not considered a short barrel rifle because it still has an 18-inch barrel, and the overall length is still over 26 inches. Can you guys hear my kids outside screaming? I left the windows open. So because of that, it's not considered a short barrel rifle. It is just considered short barrel shotgun. Excuse me, is just considered a shotgun, and that's pretty cool that Keltec designed it where it fits, 14+1. Or 22+1, was that the Aguila shells, was 22+1, and it's still very, very small. So again, talking about home defense, self-defense, it's very, very easy to use in a home or any type of area like that. So let's talk about the testing that I did on this shotgun. I only brought it to the range twice and only put a few hundred rounds through it. Gun's been out for a few years, so whatever reputation it has built up is not going to change no matter how much ammo I put through it. Also, shotgun ammo is still pretty on the expensive side, just like the rest of the ammo out there. But what we did shoot, excuse me, I shot birdshot, buck, and slugs in 12 gauge, 2 and 3/4 inch shells. I also shot the Aguila mini shells because I have just bought a Shockwave, Mark Mossberg Shockwave, and I bought some Aguila mini shells for that. So I shot birdshot, buck, and slugs. Mini shells as well through this. We shot some steel, of course. We shot some paper to see how it patterned on the paper target. Of course, we threw some clays in the air because it's a shotgun, and what else are you gonna do with it? And then I stopped at the dollar store. We got some water and soda and whatever else it was, because again, with a shotgun, what's more fun to shoot than water and soda and give some of the ants at the range some diabetes. It's a good time. And I really have nothing to report. It's a good shotgun. They seem to be reliable, very, very fun. No issues, no malfunctions, no problems with it whatsoever. So I have nothing really to say specifically. As far as pros, again, I think the versatility of the shotgun is the biggest pro. Not only the small size, the huge amount of ammo that it can store, the 2 magazine tubes, so if you want to not only carry a lot of ammo, but if you're the type of person who wants to carry different types of ammo, you can very easily do that. Again, just make sure your training is on point. If you're gonna, especially if you're gonna carry lethal and non-lethal or less lethal ammo, be very, very careful doing something like that. Oh, we also shot some body armor as well. I've been doing a review on Prime body armor, and we shot that as well. That was always fun. I think that's it as far as pros. As far as cons, I have two things, and they're very, very small, and they're a little nitpicky. I would really love to see some M-LOK slots out here on the front, just so you can easily incorporate a white light a lot easier. And then the grip's fine, the shape is fine. It's just a little on the slick side. Not a huge deal, but if it was mine, I would slap a set of Talon grips on here in a heartbeat. Uses, I think the biggest use is going to be self-defense of any kind, whether it be home defense or in a truck, hell, in a big bag maybe you could keep it. But because it's so versatile and so small, any type of self-defense, if you're looking for a shotgun for self-defense, this would be a very, very good option. Before you guys go, I don't need to thank Keltec. Let me thank the Elite Indoor Gun Range. They're the ones who lent me this shotgun for the review, and they're always giving me ammo to shoot with guns, and they let me record in their facility, and they're just really, really good guys. So if you're in the area, go check out the Elite Indoor Gun Range. I also want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is USCCA. Again, click the link down in the video description, see if USCCA is right for you. I also want to thank the other companies who support me with affiliate links, all these 4 guys right here. I also need to thank my Patreon supporters. Those guys are great. I always use that money towards ammo. They're like my biggest ammo budget sponsors right there, so they are wonderful. Also want to thank you guys for watching, because it is greatly, greatly appreciated. If you didn't watch these videos, none of that other stuff would matter, so thank you very much. If you want to know what reviews I am working on right now in real time, consider following me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Paula. Those are the 4 main sites that I'm on, and the links to all of them are down in the video description. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!